Hi, welcome to my 5.2 Destruction Warlock guide. In this guide I'll briefly be going over talents, rotation, gemming, and general other tips and tricks for Destruction Warlocks. It should be noted this guide is a fairly basic guide and is not going to feature theory crafting too heavily. Okay, so for talents. All the talents you see here are changeable depending on the fight basis or your own personal preference. This is generally a standard setup for single target DPS for destruction. Soul Leech is really strong right now and offers loads of protection. I've taken Mortal Coil for the heal, Sacrificial Pact for a nice big shield, Burning Rush for movement. Supremacy currently is doing the most damage single target, and Kill Jaden's Cunning for movement fights. Manaroth's Fury is really nice on some fights for destruction, such as Primordius and for Horidon Heroic. Sacrifice can be used in some fights as well, where you're going to be doing a lot of shadow burning or a lot of chaos bolting and not much else, or a lot of havocing even, and that is fights like Primordius. Okay, for glyphs, I've gone with Glyph of Ember Tap, Glyph of Siphon Life, and Glyph of Hellstone. Again, these are personal preference. They all increase your survivability. I find Glyph of Hellstone is really nice to pop with that increased healing. It's just insane. You know that for the next 10 seconds, something's going to have to hit you quite hard for you to die because you're going to be healing up a lot. I don't usually use Ember Tap too much in destruction, but it's nice to have the option that if you are going to take a lot of damage, you can combine that 10-second heal that the glyph gives you with the Hellstone glyph that's also a 10-second heal. And Siphon Life is just immolate, healing you back a bit. You can swap them out for any glyphs you want. It should be noted that whatever people tell you, the Demon Training glyph is not a DPS increase at all. The Imp's DPS is not capped by how fast it casts, it's capped by its energy regen, so that glyph will not be a DPS increase at all. Okay, for gemming, this is the way I'd recommend gemming, like as a quite a basic rough guide. It's all about getting as much intellect as you can, because destruction and demonology, unlike affliction, value intellect a lot more than their secondary stats. So you want to get as much intellect as you can. For the secondary stats, Mastery, Haste and Crit, they're all fairly close, and at different points they will change for destruction. For instance, Haste is really good until a certain point where it becomes absolutely rubbish. So as a general rough guide, this is what I'd recommend gemming. Mastery increases your Havoc cleaving, and destruction is normally going to be used in a fight where you're going to be Havoc cleaving. Okay, so now I'm going to quickly go through the basic destruction opener and rotation. It's basically all about spending your embers at the correct times in the correct ways. Your opener especially is just fitting in as many chaos bolts as you can while you've got all your trinket procs up and while you've got your dark soul up. And then after that, the rotation is just building embers and then using them when you've got more trinket procs or when your cooldowns are up, or if there's a part in the fight where you need to use them to do increased damage, or the boss is giving you a buff that increases your damage for a short time, then that would be the time to use your embers. Okay, so for the opener, we're going to, obviously, you'd pre-pot when the countdown comes in, and I'm just going to show you building up the embers and then spending them as fast as you can, okay? So pre-pot, start casting Immolate, send in the pet, Curse of Elements, and just go to town building up embers right now. Want to get a nice strong Immolate on there as soon as you can. So here's a nice strong Immolate, and then just start getting Chaos Bolts off. You can actually use your backdraft to get off faster Chaos Bolts at the start, because it's more than likely you'll have more than enough haste from Trinket Procs and Bloodlust, and you can just use it to get off as many Chaos Bolts as you can. And then as you can see, now we're all out of Intellect, Trinket Procs, and our Dark Soul has finished its duration. So now we just go to building up embers, and that is basically all you want to do for the rest of the fight, is build up embers. As soon as you get some nice trinket procs, spend the embers, or as soon as your Dark Souls off cooldown, spend the embers, and try not to cap on embers. I just did it then because I'm not really paying attention properly, but when you get to like 3.5 embers, just spend them just to make sure you're not getting capped. That's basically it. So we got a nice big intellect proc up here, and some more intellect procs, so we're going to use the members. Got some nice strong chaos bolts. Should be able to fit another one in quite easily before some of these drop off. Get another chaos bolt off, and that's nice and easy. And that is basically the destruction rotation. Okay, thanks for watching my video. Please like, comment, subscribe. You can go on my Twitch TV channel, which you can see below, and follow me on Twitter. I will be bringing out more videos in the future, fight-specific guides, and other guides for the other specs. Thank you.